this is the most looking forward place. They say it's the shape of the wings. It's very romantic. This is the third day of our road trip. After visiting the stone-carved memorial archways in Anyue County and rock carvings in Dazhu, we head further to the Hechuan district of Chongqing. This district is special because it's where three major rivers, the Yangtze River, the Jialing River, and the Hechuan River come together. We're now in Hejiang. Hejiang County is famous for the fishing fortress. It's a military base during the end of Southern Song dynasty. It has a nickname for being as the place that broke the flail of the god, which is the Mongol Han's army. The fishing fortress isn't a typical tourist attraction that immediately wows visitors. However, once you uncover the historical events that unfolded in this unassuming town 700 years ago, you will come to appreciate every trace of its past. The story harks back to the 13th century, when the Southern Song dynasty's army clashed with the formidable forces of Mongol Khan, the fourth khagan of the Mongol Empire. At that time, the Mongol Empire was an unstoppable juggernaut, conquering over 400 regions across Asia, Europe, and Africa. When Mongol Khan led his army to Sichuan province, they encountered a significant challenge at the fishing fortress. This fortress possessed geographical features that made it an ideal defensive post.
咱们以前城墙，然后在我现在手指的这方面是不是有一些遗余的？那个就是一字城墙。
但是老城墙啊。
哎，对的，这个就是南宋时期原址。那个的话就是垒石。
In July 1259, during the heat of battle, Mongol Khan was struck by a flying stone projectile, leading to his demise. This incident compelled the Mongol Empire to withdraw its forces from Egypt, effectively halting their expansion into Africa. The siege endured for over 40 years, but the fishing fortress remained unconquered. It eventually surrendered, but only after a staggering 10 months following the fall of the Southern Song dynasty, with a pledge not to harm the fortress's 100,000 inhabitants. Of course, this brief 2-minute segment in my video merely scratches the surface of the fishing fortress' rich history. It's a story so intricate that it could fill the pages of a thick book, and I'm sure you'd be captivated by many legends unfolded here. I'm gonna show you one of my favorite snacks from my childhood. It's called Hechuan Taopian. It's made of sticky rice flour and this kind of nuts, walnuts, and black sesame. This kind of thing is sweet. It actually have two kinds of flavors. One is the soft, sweet kind, and the other one is the crispy, salty kind. I bought the soft one here. Now it's time to bid farewell to Hechuan and shift our focus. Anyue offers a different vibe, one where you can feel a bit more carefree, especially while indulging in its delectable street food and vibrant night market. Situated right in the heart of the Sichuan region, Anyue gets its name from its mountainous terrain, which translates to living in the mountains. Amidst these myriad hills and mountains, you will find the country's most renowned lemon trees. Anyue County is responsible for nearly 80% of China's lemon production. We even met a French girl selling lemonade soda at one of the scenic area entrances. But our journey here isn't for the lemons. It's for the remarkable sculptures carved into the rocks, many of which are hidden within these very hills and mountains. Now we're at Anyue County. Anyue County is famous for two things. First is lemon, and the second is rock carvings or grottos. There are around 200 grottos spread over the entire county, so it's not very convenient if you don't travel with a car. The first grotto we're going to visit is called Yuanjue Dong. Among the 200 grottos in Anyue, there are 10 that's quite famous. We are now at Yuanjue Dong. Apart from it, we have Pilu Dong, Huayan Cave, and Luo Fo Yuan, Hongque Dong, the Peacock Cave, and Xuan Guan, Qianfo Zai, Mingshan Si, and Momen Si. The Yuanjue Cave Scenic Area is located on Yunju Mountain, about 1 kilometer southeast of Anyue County. The name Yuanjue means the complete enlightenment of self, others, and all actions. Within the Yuanjue Cave Scenic Area, there are 3 7-meter-tall sculptures of the 3 saints of the Western Pure Land, comprising the Shakyamuni Buddha, Avalokitesvara, and Mahastamaprapta, which is unique in Anyue stone caves. Chinese Buddhism recognizes and reveres a wide variety of bodhisattvas, each associated with specific qualities, virtues, and functions. The specific number of bodhisattvas can vary among different Buddhist texts, sects, and regions, but in general, we talk about the 9 bodhisattvas, including Avalokitesvara, Maitreya, and so on. Unlike the other regions in China, the unique carving style in Anyue gave these bodhisattvas more human-like facial expressions and postures. Avalokitesvara is carrying the bottle casually, rather than holding it with 2 hands in front of his chest. The lotus bud is held by Mahastamaprapta with his arms down resting comfortably. The Yuanjue Cave is perhaps the most easily accessible scenic spot in Anyue, and happened to be our first stop. Following our visit to the Yuanjue Cave, we ventured along a narrow country road and arrived at the Peacock Bodhisattva Cave. So now we're at the Peacock Cave. It's very less well known, so there are not many people here. It's very quiet. It has an ancient vibe here. Have a look. Here there are no opulent temples, parking lots, or even ticket offices. Only an elderly man and his old dog accompany this magnificent sculpture. Have you noticed how different this sculpture looks? It's much darker than the others we've seen. There is an interesting story behind it. Right next to this sculpture, there once stood a humble family home. In order to save some money, they chose to use the sculpture as one of the walls in their kitchen. This decision inevitably led to the darkening of the carving surface due to the cooking smoke. However, it also played a role in the sculpture's survival during the Special Revolution. The resources allocated to protecting rock carvings in these remote areas are quite limited. After their house collapsed, the Zhou family continued to voluntarily protect this sculpture for decades. Since 1990, Zhou Shixia has been one of the 20 voluntary custodians in Anyue County. Only after 2006 did they start receiving salaries from the government, which have increased from 400 RMB in 2006 to 1,500 RMB nowadays. However, their wages are still minimal. Zhou has a special friend, a black dog, who also gets 300 RMB every month for food compensation. Wow! Located 4 kilometers away from the Peacock Cave, the Mingshan Temple is in a similar situation. We're now at another famous cave. It's called Mingshan Temple. It's now under protection, so we cannot enter, but we can still visit the carvings. There was a big traffic jam on the road here, but it's sorted now. This temple is built at the top of Hutou Mountain, surrounded by steep cliffs on 3 sides. The rock-carved sculptures on these cliffs date back to the 12th century. The total length of the rock carvings is approximately 300 meters, with a collection of 68 sculptures. Among these sculptures, 8 of them reach a height of about 5 to 7 meters. When you gaze upon these massive sculptures perched on cliffs, you may experience a sense of otherworldly beauty. Many people are particularly drawn to this sculpture of Manjushri Bodhisattva. It is positioned at the corner where 2 cliff surfaces meet, with one side exposed to the wind and the other shielded from them. Due to its unique location, the rock carvings on the cliff surface are now a blend of human craftsmanship using nails and hammers, and the creative forces of nature shaped by the wind. This is the most looking forward place for me in Anyue County. This sculpture that records the shape of the wind. Can you see the line? This parallel line on the rocks? They say it's the shape of the wind. It's very romantic. Probably due to the lack of protective resources, some sculptures are locked in a simple room, and the temple itself is not yet open to the public when we arrive. There are 2 custodians and 1 dog safeguarding this place. Without them, more Buddha heads would have been stolen, as happened in 2006. The average age of these custodians is above 60 years, with the oldest being in their 80s. Needless to say, they need the younger generation to take on this responsibility. However, money has always been a problem in this area. When visiting these places, it's evident that choosing to be a custodian here entails dedicating oneself to a difficult and isolated life with limited material rewards. You might be wondering if the government is willing to invest more in this. I found the answer in an interview documentary. In short, there have always been sufficient funds, but the local department is struggling to get approval from the capital due to a lack of capabilities and academic talents.
县里面的财政，
对，每个县都有一个中央财政那个评估中心，那是个政府机构。就那个政府机构就是所有这个钱都得进这一个袋子，进这一个袋子，然后再重新进行这个财评。他的这个财评完了以后呢，才能划归到你具体的这个是用钱的这个单位。这个钱呢，的的确确是拨，但是呢就没有动。没有动的原因就是我给你的1500万，咱用到工程上就在1000万，这个具体的这个施工方呢，人家就不愿意接这个活了。你现在错了几百万了。说太大了，你哪能看1/3呀？你要如果是这样子，那是国家文物局是坚决1分钱都不敢往下面批了。目前咱们国内这个经济发展以及就是文物保护这个领域的这个投入这个角度来讲，资金确实不是太大的问题。就说这个资金这个存量呢，现在还是比较大的，就是这个完完全全是可以交到下面。但是问题就有一点，我们大家也都知道，你有没有这个技术能力？说这技术能力是资金落地的最大保障。安岳石窟就是在它的技术人员的定位方面缺少一个战略考虑。
As Zhou Shixia mentioned, there are no tourists at the Peacock Cave, only enthusiasts who come to worship Bodhisattva. He might suddenly hope that one day, some of these enthusiasts will return with their knowledge and talents. This would improve their lives and also preserve these 800-year-old sculptures. Today is a rainy day and we're on our way back to Chengdu. I hope you enjoy the road trip with us and see you in next episode.